What's up guys, David here, and the G5 is official. LG recently took the wraps off of their latest flagship, and man, there are some pretty interesting new features that make the G5 unlike any other smartphone I've ever seen. In this video, we're gonna take a look at the top 5 best new features the G5 has to offer. 1. Design. Historically, LG has stuck with plastic designs on their G series in order to accommodate for things like a removable battery and a micro SD slot. But this year, LG decided to ditch the plastic and went with a full metal unibody design instead. The metal casing wraps all the way around the back of the phone, where it seamlessly meets the slightly rounded 3D arc glass on the front. It has chamfered edges, which should make the phone a bit easier to grip, and unlike a lot of the other metal phones out there, the G5 doesn't have those ugly antenna lines. The other major design change is the move away from LG's trademark rear buttons, as the G5's volume keys have returned to the side of the phone, with only a power button / fingerprint scanner remaining on the back. The phone will be available in 4 different color options in silver, gold, pink, and a grayish color LG is calling Titan. So overall, the G5's design looks like a pretty solid upgrade over the G4's, but a metal build isn't necessarily exciting. Plenty of phones have metal designs nowadays, and to be honest, LG is kind of late to the party. But what is exciting is the fact that LG was able to pull off this metal design without having to sacrifice the removable battery.
Whoa. You're a wizard.
2. Magic slot. On the G5, you can simply press a button and slide the battery out from the bottom of the phone and replace it with a fresh one in a few seconds. Now that alone is impressive in its own right, but LG didn't stop there. Instead of settling with just a removable battery, which by the way most manufacturers don't even offer anymore, they've opened the door to a whole new world of opportunities with the ability to connect peripherals, or what LG is calling friends, using the removable slot. LG introduced a camera grip with an extended battery pack, as well as a hi-fi DAC audio player along with the G5, which both transformed the phone into something else entirely. The G5 is the first major phone to have a modular type design, and who knows what other peripherals LG or other companies will come up with to make the G5 even more capable over time. This is seriously one of the most innovative features I've seen on a smartphone in a long time, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it. And while the camera grip and the hi-fi player are cool, I think there's a lot more this modular type design can bring to the table. 3. Performance. The G4 held its own in our phone book style speed test, edging out phones like the Galaxy S6 with its superior RAM management. So with the Snapdragon 820 under the hood, along with 4GB of RAM, the G5 looks to be a serious contender in 2016. LG has streamlined the UI, removing a lot of the bloatware and unpopular features like Q-Slide, which should result in a faster phone. So I'm excited to see what this thing can do and how it fares against the competition in our upcoming speed tests. 4. Display. It's not often that you see a smartphone manufacturer make the screen smaller on their new flagship, but that's exactly what LG did this year, dropping the screen size from 5.5 inches on the G4 to 5.3 inches on the G5. The smaller screen results in the Quad HD IPS quantum display having a higher pixel density on the G5 than it did on the G4, and should also make for easier one-handed use. The other big change with the screen is the new Always On display, which will always show you the time, the date, and any missed notifications you may have when the phone is on standby. LG says this convenient feature won't negatively impact battery life too much, with it using just under 1% of battery life per hour. And considering that we check our phones on average over 150 times a day, many of those times just to see what time it is or if we have any missed notifications, this new feature may actually end up saving battery life for some people. 5. Dual cameras. On the back of the G5, you have not one, but 2 camera sensors. One of them is your main 78-degree angle 16-megapixel camera with an f-stop of 1.8, similar to that on the G4, while the other is a ultra-wide 135-degree angle 8-megapixel camera that lets you capture more of what is in front of you without having to take a step back. The camera software lets you easily go back and forth between the 2 camera modes depending on what you need at the time, and also includes some fun photo modes that take pictures with both cameras for different visual effects. But these dual cameras aren't just for the gimmicky photo effects, that stuff is just for fun. What these dual cameras really bring to the table is the ability to capture more than what your eyes can see with the ultra wide lens. So you can fit in a bunch of people in a group photo, or maybe get a better shot of landscapes without having to take a step back. LG has always had great cameras, with the G4 being one of the best camera phones out on the market, so this dual camera setup is more than just a marketing gimmick like we've seen other handsets do before. So those are the top 5 features on the LG G5. G5. Of course, there will be a bunch of coverage coming to the channel once we get our hands on the device, so be sure to subscribe and enable those channel notifications so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.